It's good to see you again, strangers. I'm very glad you made it here. Today I got to test out a pre-release version of the Riftborn origin created by the user Zhinside. I think that's how you pronounce it, forgive me if I got that wrong. But they hit me up on Discord and see if I wanted to test it out, and obviously I did, and here we are. Thank you so very much to them for allowing me to do a video on this origin. This origin is for the Minecraft version 1.17.1, and again, it is in beta. The creator is planning on making some changes, but that'll be in a few days, and then you'll be able to download it for yourself in the Origins Discord as always. That shall be linked below. But without further ado, let's check it out. And for our first primary active ability, we have Rift. You create a rift to another dimension, becoming immune to any type of damage and becoming invisible. This is essentially the phasing ability for the Spirit Fox, being completely invisible. However, mobs can still see you, so that's just something to note. You can also snipe caves and get like a bunch of ores just like you could with the Flash origin. And yeah, I mean, it's very overpowered, but keep in mind this will be getting tweaked and it won't be as powerful in the full release by the time you guys will be able to download it. But as of right now, this is just the general idea behind this ability. I quite like it a lot. But what really separates this from all the others is the fact that when you get shot by a projectile, it just sort of bounces off of you, and it just looks really cool. I think that's a very nice touch. Reminds me a lot of Gojo Satoru, so yeah, I just wanted to put that in there. And here we have our secondary active ability, Relocation. You create a rift that will teleport you 30 blocks in front of you, and well, you do see this a lot in a lot of other origins, but this one's quite unique. Just take a look at how this animation plays out. It's very interesting because in a lot of other origins you just sort of appear there, but with this one it's almost like you're being spawned into the world for the first time. You have like that dropping in animation, kind of like if you were to enter like a nether portal or the end. I think that's a very nice touch, really creative, and it has an almost non-existent cooldown, but this will be tweaked in the final release. And now we have the third and by far the coolest primary ability, Dimensional Travel. You have the ability to travel to the void with the Save Toolbar activator, which yes, gives you a personal pocket dimension just like the filter, only this one is infinite. I built this little structure here just to show that you can build stuff and create whatever you want, and when you come back it'll be there waiting for you, which means you can build huge, massive structures, farms, whatever you want. The possibilities are endless, and it can also be used as a way to travel really quickly, as 1 block here translates to 8 blocks in the overworld. Fantastic stuff. This is just amazing. I love this one so much. And here we have our last active ability, Wormhole, which is activated by your load toolbar activator. If sneaking and pressing the key, you will teleport to the last entity you hit. Otherwise, pressing the key will teleport the entity to you, and it works very similarly to how the Puppeteer origin worked, and it's extremely useful. Again, villagers are very hard to get up in your farms, and this would just fix all of that. Very useful, very handy ability, and can even get you out of some tricky situations sometimes depending on how you use it. It should also be noted that this does not work in between dimensions, so if you're in the nether or the end or your personal dimension, you will not be able to teleport to the entity, nor will that entity be able to teleport to you. On to our first passive ability, Rift Dodge. Thanks to your ability to rip space, you can now dodge some attacks, and thanks to that little blue bar down there, you have 4 chances of being hit before you will start to take damage, and this works on every source of damage, basically meaning that if a creeper sneaks up behind you, you won't get killed and your life will be spared. And now we have our second passive ability, Rift Combat. You have managed to adapt your teleportations to fight better, and this makes it so every time you hit a mob or player, you teleport randomly to the other side of them, making it really difficult to hit you as if you didn't already have enough in your kit. It's another thing that will give you an edge. And that was the end of our abilities, and we now have our neutral ability, stars, and well, you've noticed this already, you get a bunch of stars surrounding you. Yeah, just like in the other origin, only not as much, which is appreciated. Moving right along to our drawbacks, we have Life Void. Ripping space had its consequences and you only have 9 hearts, and we can also pair that up with shields. Due to your combat style, you do not use shields, and these explain themselves, so let's move right along. Next up, we have Hydrophobia. Because of your unstable body, water flows through you and it hurts. Very typical drawback for a lot of origins. Just keep in mind that if you put Water Protection 4 on one piece of armor, you will no longer take any damage from water. Next up is Flammable. You are not familiar with fire, making you panic, and this does feel like double damage. I had on a diamond chestplate and I still died quite quickly, so you need to be careful with that. And we can also pair this up with Exhaustion, creating Rift Cake's energy, so you exhaust faster. And yeah, that's self-explanatory, so let's move on. And now finally we have our very last drawback, Unstable Body 2.0. Due to your instability, you need tough armor to hold together, better than iron, and I can't equip that iron chestplate nor any other piece of iron armor or below that, so that means I only have diamond and netherite. To wrap this all up, the Riftborn is probably the most well implemented origin I've ever got to test. It is so extremely overpowered in its current state, but luckily it will be balanced out before its official release. Again, keep an eye out for that. It should be in the Origins Discord within the next few days. And I just love how you get your own infinite pocket dimension where you can build massive farms, do whatever you want, and use it for fast travel. It's so incredibly insane. Excellent work by Zhinside. I hope I'm pronouncing that again. And it's I'm speechless, honestly. It's just that good. And let me know what you think about today's origin in the comments below, as well as any other suggestions you might have from me. I love hearing from you guys. And here you are again at the very end of the video. Thank you so much for sticking around, and thank you to my now 500 subscribers. The support has been insane. Just the other video I was at 400, and it's going up a lot, and I really do appreciate it. I do notice every single positive comment that I get, and it really does help out a lot and keeps me inspired. So thank you all so much. Keep yourselves safe, and we'll be meeting again in the next one. See ya.